What you're talking about is collective bargaining.
Yep.
That will never happen. Now, I don't know if the players could ever get unionized. That'd be like trying to turn the Titanic around in a swimming pool. It's just very difficult to do that. But I think what you're talking about here, Roc, is those guys are great soundboards. But who do they go to talk about that? Who's going to flip the script when you saw the money coming in these next 2 weeks?
I'm not talking money. I'm just talking about the calendar and these players not playing in bowl games, coaches opting out before bowl games.
I hear you.
Coaches getting paid for not even being on the team, and they're in bowl games and in the CFP.
It's a wild, wild west, Roc.
It is.
So the sheriff comes in town to get it under control. We won't see it.
All right, Jonathan Gannon is out. What it means, who's next, how big of a reset is this for the Cardinals?
Hurry! The Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Sniffles and sneezes got you down? GoodRx is here to help with big savings on commonly prescribed cold and flu meds. GoodRx is free and easy to use. GoodRx is accepted at all major pharmacies like CVS, Walmart, and Walgreens. Just search your prescription, find a coupon, then show your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx is not insurance, but it works whether you have insurance or not. If you do, GoodRx may beat your copay price. Download the free app or visit goodrx.com to save today.
Let's go! You're still grooving, still connecting, still loving, still turning up, still thriving. You still got it, but your immune system, it weakens as you age. That's where vaccines come in. They help train and strengthen your immune response to fight off respiratory illnesses like flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, or COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Book in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
It's where every slam dunk dream and memory of your favorite game is stored. Your brain shapes you, defines you, makes you, you. Yet as many athletes know, a brain or spine condition can change that. That's why Barrow pushes the boundaries of neuroscience medicine and what's possible. Consistently ranked among the best in the country, Barrow fights to help patients hold on to their dreams, memories, and themselves right here in Arizona. Barrow Neurological Institute, minding what matters most. Visit barrowneuro.org to learn more.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
When it comes to sushi, reputation matters. And Sushi Brokers Arcadia has built theirs on being the best sushi in Arizona. From traditional rolls to bold fusion creations, like our crowd favorite, Seafood Dynamite, and the must-try sushi pizza. We've got something for everyone. Our famous happy hour is every day from 3 to 6:30 with fresh favorites like the California roll, spicy tuna roll, and the surf and turf roll topped with seared steak. Sushi Brokers Arcadia, 44th Street in Indian School.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports. Is ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at ArizonaSports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a record need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
We want to win. This was a decision that was based solely off winning. When I look at what other teams have done, and frankly, historically, we've done a quick turnaround in our not too distant past. I am looking forward to that, and I hope it's going to be in the first year, not in the second year. But we're confident that our search is going to be thorough, it's going to be broad, and we're going to select the right coach.
All right, it's Michael Bidwell at around noon today as he and Monty Ossenfort addressed the media and spoke about the fact that just pushed the big red button again as Jonathan Gannon is out. Now, the question is just simple. It's simple. Right move or same old Cardinals? I mean, is this a step forward or just another reset in a long cycle of rebuilds, reboots, press conferences that promises the fans that this will be different this time around? But the truth is, when a coach gets fired, it's rarely just about the coach, and there's more to it than just Gannon being fired. Of course, there's the Kyler Murray situation in the future there, the roster decisions that Monty has done, and an ownership group that just hasn't been able to sustain winning. I mean, it's just this organization has a black cloud over it, and it's had it since 1988, with the exception of, like, I don't know, 2 seasons where the weather was nice and it wasn't so cloudy over either Sun Devil Stadium or University of Phoenix or State Farm Stadiums. But he spoke today, and we're going to bring some of that back. As you know, we're going to rewind some of the biggest moments from today as Michael Bidwell explained the firing and Monty Ossenfort laid out what's next and what went wrong. And we'll start with the owner and why Jonathan Gannon is out.
This morning, we spoke with Jonathan Gannon and let him know that we were going to go in a different direction with our head coach. Jonathan is a very smart, motivated, enthusiastic, intelligent, awesome coach. He and his staff, their families, Gina Gannon and their families, give so much and so much sacrifice to this organization. We're so appreciative of what he put into this organization. He made us better. But I think, as you all know, this is a league about wins and losses. The wins and losses speak for themselves, especially this year. We just felt like we were going in the wrong direction and we needed to change course. So we did that this morning, and we are embarking on a search that Monty will be leading to bring on our next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah, I got to think that he's looking at the whole picture. I don't know. Last year they were 8-9. We felt they made a little bit of progress. Kyler had come back from his knee injury, and they felt progress. They thought in the offseason with spending over $100 million for defensive help, free agents, and looking at you got Nolan III, and you got Robinson, and you got some pieces cornerback-wise, and then it kind of started falling apart early. You lose 2 of your top corners before the season even starts. But then again, you go, okay, is Kyler going to be our guy? Everybody on paper said, hey, maybe this team's a playoff team. I'll admit it. I said, yeah, I felt they should win 8 to 9 games. Maybe they sneak in the back door, maybe they're not. But I just think when a guy's, loses, 14 out of the last 15, and you lose 9 games in a row, and you're allowing over 30-plus points, and your record is, 15-36 over 3 years, Michael Bidwell sees progress, and he also sees lack of progress. And the injury bug aside, when you were healthy, you lost all these close games. You lost 5, 6, 7 games close that you lost with healthy bodies. I think that was the determining factor for Michael Bidwell.
Manuch, you sat here the entire time, and you sorry about that, and you kept saying it's next man up. That was your mentality.
Look at San Francisco.
Yep.
Look what New England's dealing with.
I get that. So what happened here today is not a shock. We all thought it was going to take place. We didn't wish it for a guy to get axed. We never do that. Sure. But when you're not producing, then the owner has no other choice but to cut bait and move on.
Well, the National Football League's big boy league.
It
I'm
is,
sorry.
yeah, that's it.
This isn't college. Oh, we're letting him go after 2 years. No, it's what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at Pete Carroll after a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Who
Yeah,
would have
good
ever
point.
thought that he wouldn't have got at least a second year?
Yeah.
And then you get the flip side of that. You look at Stefanski. I mean, he had 6 years.
Yes, he did.
That's not a bad career.
No, not at all. And I think that, you look at the owner, and as dysfunctional as he is,
oh man,
they take 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, and then they thought, well, maybe he can handle his ship and maintain what's going on there. And even for Stefanski, when you watch him on the sideline, he looked defeated. Like, I got to put this kid out there. Got to put another kid out there.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco's a guy that got us to the playoffs. Now you're letting me I have to cut him now?
Yeah.
All right, a lot of people are asking, if Gannon's gone, why not Monty too?
When you look at all the wins and losses, we just felt like, of the totality of all the circumstances, the best decision was to move in a different direction with head coach. But I have worked with Monty for 3 years, and I'm very comfortable and confident in his ability to be our general manager.
So what I think he's saying is, with the draft choices he had, I could see that. But with some of the free agencies brought in, just have not panned out.
They haven't hit.
And when you say I work with him well, he understands what I want to see, what I don't want to see, versus letting the general manager and his staff do their thing. And we all know Michael Bidwell, he's micromanager.
He's hands-on.
He meddles and everything, what have you. We've seen how that works in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
I've been to a Super Bowl like 92 years, give or take. And we're seeing it here with the Arizona Cardinals, too. He's meddling too much versus these guys go out and do their job.
During the presser today, we don't know who it was, but it went down a road which was strange, to say the least, because the timing was just odd for someone to ask about the notion that this organization caters to rich fans. And Michael was pressed on this, on the perception that his team caters to the more wealthy fans than the average fans. Mm-hmm. And here's his response.
I'm not sure I totally agree with that. I think that we have done a lot of things to enhance the stadium, food selection at the stadium. We've now got, I think, over a dozen different local brands inside the stadium. We have enhanced the Wi-Fi, which is everybody has access to, the video boards, the game day experience, the game day entertainment, all the enhancements outside the stadium, the upgrades that you guys may not see in the concessions. We just rebranded all the concessions, every concession stand. So I think when you look at the stadium, we have put investment into all areas of the stadium for all our fans. And we want to be as inclusive for all of our fans, that they have the ability to come and enjoy live NFL football at State Farm Stadium. And we're going to continue to make those investments. We every year make investments into State Farm Stadium. We're very proud of those investments. And there are opportunities where we have made some substantial investments. I'm not sure we get complete credit for, in the terrace level and other areas that are accessible to all fans.
So he has a losing team, and he's raising ticket prices for the average fan.
Well, I think what he's alluding to is, like, we're fan friendly. We cater to the fans. And quite frankly, when I hear a lot of this rhetoric from owners, I don't think fans, that's all well and good.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Hey, great. Glad you're doing it. Yeah.
But it's all about what happens on the field.
Yes.
That's where the fan enjoyment is.
Okay, but Cardinal fans need to realize the medium price is $105.
Yeah.
And that's the lower end, meaning that they are one of the more affordable teams when it comes to ticket sales. And if you recall, last year going into the season, they went off. They had their best season ticket sales in over a decade, over 50%. renewals. Our
last
sales were
offseason?
up by 50%. Yeah,
last
all
offseason?
season going into this season. I mean, the renewal rate was more than 90%.
Because they all thought
Everybody
that
a lot
they
of
thought
buzz.
this team was going to the playoffs. That
Yeah.
they had all the pieces, supposedly, of going to the playoffs. Kyler Murray's healthy. You spent over $100 million on your defense. We've got Marv Harrison. We've got Marv will have a better season this year.
I don't know where that media guy was going or gal.
I didn't get that either.
Maybe a business journal or some sort that wants to know about the business side of sport. But here's Michael Bidwell when he was asked directly about the ticket price increases.
Well, the price hikes, I think, comparatively to the rest of the National Football League, we're still in, I believe, in the below the average of NFL pricing for game tickets.
Yeah, so there you have it.
They are.
And he's accurate on that.
Yeah, he is.
So don't raise him. If you're leaving it, I get it.
But he is going to raise.
But this is what teams do. The
Yeah.
Suns did that last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sometimes it's awkward. You scratch your head when you're coming off such a bad season that you raise your season tickets. Our last one, and this is finally, is ownership worried they're pricing fans out?
Well, we try to take that into consideration when we're pricing, and so our team's looking at that every year, and so we try to make it as affordable as we can. But we also have to go out there and compete with the rest of the National Football League.
Well, what's he supposed to say? I mean,
it's
a business.
Like I said, it was just
It's
a strange
business.
time to ask those questions.
I'm
today.
with you on that.
And I think that it's kind of like they're taking this shot that, well, if these guys are playing so bad, why would you keep them or raise them?
You're not going to lower
with
them.
the product out there on the field. Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna do BOGOs.
I think fans. Yeah, I think fans get that. It's just their choice whether to go spend the money. To watch the product or to go do it on an individual basis when certain teams come in.
Well, Manuch, you referenced early on in the show people that you spoke to. You said that they were season ticket holders. Yeah. They're not going to renew. They're just going to pick and choose games.
And a lot of it is they just felt that, hey, if this Cardinal team was a consistent winning organization, they're just so disappointed. The play on the field, the coaching, all the above, that they're just going to go, we're just going to do individual basis. And they've been season ticket holders for over 20 years.
There you go.
They've said enough's enough.
All right. We got to take a break from Cardinal talk. We'll get back into it. It's been, I mean, the whole show was in the barn, right?
Yeah,
and then 10 o'clock, it just changed everything. But Booker at the horn, Sun surviving OKC. We got to get into that next. We'll have Frank Sanders at the bottom of the hour. This is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Radio Phoenix, on FM at 98.7 HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
When tragedy strikes, the impact is immediate and devastating. That's when the 100 Club of Arizona steps in, providing financial assistance, guidance, and emotional support to the families of public safety officers injured or killed in the line of duty. They also invest in mental health resources, injury prevention, and scholarships for the children of first responders. Every day, Arizona's public safety professionals put their lives on the line. The 100 Club of Arizona has their back. Learn more at 100club.org. Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as they broadcast live before the national championship from DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale on Monday, January 19th. Watch college football's biggest game in an electric atmosphere with massive wall-to-wall screens, great food and drinks, and a full sportsbook experience. Get there early, grab a seat, and soak in the energy. From VIP cabanas to the outdoor patio and fire pits, the road to a national title runs through Scottsdale. Monday, January 19th at DraftKings with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from ESPN Radio 620. Must be 21 years or older to wager. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
At Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, we love the game of golf just like you. We're here for golfers because we know golf like no one else. Since 1963, your local Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf has been the trusted partner on and off the course, providing reliable expertise you can count on. With over 60 years of experience and our legendary 90-day guarantee, we've always been here to help you get there. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Game on Peoria. When it's time to eat big, drink cold, and watch every play, make it Big's American Bar and Grill in the P83 district. Big's is serving up huge portions of your favorites. Burgers, wings, nachos, plus a full bar and TVs everywhere you look. And don't miss happy hour Monday through Thursday, 3 to 6:30 p.m. with $2 off well drinks and $2 off domestic drafts, plus daily specials all week long. Bring your friends, grab a seat on the patio, and settle in for the game. Big's American Bar and Grill, where Peoria comes to play, eat, and watch.
Friends and family are often the first to notice when a veteran needs help. In those moments, life can feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulders. Or like they are caught in a storm they can't escape. And the metaphors veterans often use for the challenges of life are not exaggerations. Extending a helping hand doesn't have to be just another metaphor. Learn how you can support the veteran in your life at maketheconnection.net.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
Suns again with an opportunity to win this thing. 8 seconds left. It's Royce O'Neal throwing in the inbounds pass. Finds Booker just inside the timeline. He puts it on the deck against Caruso. 5 seconds. Booker to his left. He's going to try a three. And by the 3! 0.7 on the clock, and the Suns take a 3-point lead thanks to Devin Booker from downtown. 108-105.
And that is the final. Once again, Devin Booker ends it at the horn. Let's be clear, that wasn't luck. That was design. Final possession, game on the line, ball in Booker's hands, no hesitation. This is why he's a star. And we just need this to happen in April and May. This is when we need to see Booker do this. Yeah. Suns didn't dominate this one. They survived it. There were some cold stretches. There were some physical defense, some tight possessions. It seemed uncomfortable, but they didn't panic. Earlier in the season, this was probably a loss, but this time they executed. Give OKC credit. They didn't fold either. They're a really good team, but the final 2 minutes told the story, and the Suns got the look they wanted, and the Thunder settled. And here we are. This felt like a playoff kind of game. It did, half court physical, possession after possession. And if you're Phoenix, that's exactly the type of win you want to stack up. Start stacking those up.
Rock, they were down 18.
I know. 18. That's what I'm saying. It's
and came back in this game. Look, it was a lot of fun to watch. It really was. And I'll say this about that game last night. It did have kind of that playoff feel to it.
Sure.
It really did, with some of the things that took place on the court. But we're just at beginning of January, and we got to get through March and see where this team is at that time.
So let me ask you, Jimmy, what's more encouraging for the Suns? Booker hitting this shot, or this team winning a game that they didn't control at all for the most part?
Had no chance
being down
of winning.
18. Yeah. What's better?
I think the most encouraging was winning the game, because we've seen Devin Booker hit those shots. That's what he does. That's why he is the $50 million a year guy on that team. And that's what he is paid to do. And he has a history of doing that throughout his career.
And if these two teams meet in a playoff series, who actually has the edge?
Oh, okay.
You got a blowout. You got a blowout last time they played.
Yes. Yeah, they've almost they got blown out by almost 50 the last time.
And thank God Goodwin had the 8 threes.
Yes.
He outscored the OKC bench.
He did.
Now that's rare that's going to happen.
Exactly.
So this was that night.
Yeah.
It
was your night.
It was their night. They caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Goodwin got hot, got him back in the game, kept him in the game. They only had a 4-point lead midway through that fourth quarter. Then OKC took the lead again, and then at that point went back and forth.
Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, he's always been the closer, that being Book, right?
Always,
I mean,
yes.
So do we need to see this more, or we were just reminded last night?
No, I think you're just reminded.
Seen it in a while.
Yeah, I think you're just reminded that is his DNA, that he is not afraid to take that shot.
Well, and he's not a very good three-point shooter either, but he closed. I mean, he's been out of the 5, besides Mark Williams, he's had the lowest percentage, I believe, of three-point shooting out of the 5. With Gillespie, I think Brooks has a higher percentage. You go on and on, but you're gonna have Booker take the 3-point shot.
Damn right I am.
Yeah, you are, and I think
Yes.
that's in clutch time. Hits that 3-point, and I think to a man, that entire bench is like, yeah, he's the guy, he's our dude, and we want to take that shot. But even after that, it's amazing that they got the ball in, that they left the 3-point shooter. Who was a kid in the corner? They got the ball to him. You saw Brooks.
And he had a chance to hit that shot.
Brooks came off of him.
Yeah, he did.
And went back inside. It's like anything inside is 2 points. You're looking at, but they left him open, and it clanked, very fortunately. So, I was shocked that they left him open.
All right, so tonight it's the Houston Rockets at the Toyota Center in Houston.
What did you say the spread was?
At one time, I thought it was like 9 or 10, right? Suns are 0-2 against them this season.
Mm-hmm.
However, Houston's pretty good at home. They're 10-2 at home.
Yeah, it's a bad matchup.
What's interesting is Kevin Durant is averaging 25.7 points a game.
Yep.
Devin Booker is averaging 25.7 points. Identical points. 25.7, 25.7.
But that's what KD is.
He always scores.
He's a scorer. He's a bucket guy.
In the last 5 years,
Jalen Green was back.
I'd
love to see it.
love to see that.
But the last 5 years, KD's numbers are the same. They're almost the same.
Nothing changes.
Nothing's waned for him at all.
Who's going to be on the bench today because of they need rest?
Oh, you think Mark Williams is going to be sitting?
Yeah. His right knee injury management, or Grayson Allen's right knee injury management. That's what they're listing it.
Yeah,
it's called a right knee injury management.
Mm-hmm.
So those two that I mentioned are both probable.
What is the deal with Grayson Allen? 3 weeks later, he's still with it. Is it a meniscus?
I don't know.
What is it?
They haven't
Well, we
said.
like to know what Jalen Green's issue
Well,
is.
yeah, with that hammy. Was it a tear? What is it?
Had to be.
Now
It
they're
had
saying
to be
it
a
may be early February.
Yeah, it had to be a tear.
But you know what? Okay, just they played the cards you dealt. Just rely on other guys like Gillespie last week. You relied on him. You look at last night, Jordan Goodwin. You look at him. Look at Book. I mean, they did enough. I mean, shooting wise, you look at the Suns team. Gillespie was off last night. Brooks, held his own.
Right.
But I think that you look at this team; they're very resilient. They play hard D when they have to. They play hard all the time.
They pretty much do.
They do.
Yeah.
They do play hard, but they are still giving up a lot of points in the paint, Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's because the only big man they really have is Mark Williams.
And if you would have told me that the Suns had more fast break points than OKC, I said not. You would think you kind of bat your eye at that. But the Suns got the rebound, got the ball out quick.
Remember this too, Isaiah Hartenstein, their 7-foot center. He didn't play last night either. He was out with an injury. So that played into the availability to A, get more rebounds, and B, kick it out and get into the front court in a hurry. And I'm sure that was by design by head coach Jordan Ott. Hey, look, let's try to, because OKC had played the night before. They had played at Golden State. And so now you say they might get tired legs here by after the third quarter. Maybe they did, and that was how the Suns got back into this game and ultimately ended up winning it.
Suns 21-14.
Yeah.
Man.
Who would have thunk it?
I know. 8.5 out. They're in 7th currently in the Western Conference, ahead of the Warriors, Trailblazers, and Grizzlies. Oh, man. It's great.
Yeah,
because it gives us something to talk about over the next few months. We have pitchers and catchers reporting here soon, right?
Did you just say that, Rob?
You did.
Yeah,
Did
drafts.
you just say pitchers and catchers?
Drafts.
I'm dialed in with college football and the NFL playoffs.
All right, but after, this week, the Final Four,
true.
and then we have to wait a week till the 19th. We're going to wait 2 weeks from tonight.
That's terrible.
For the national championship. It's typically, remember, we'd always be around this time.
Yes, it would be, yeah.
And then they moved it to, back another week, and now it's 2 more weeks.
Yeah, and also with the Suns, this the frustration we've had the last 3 years, games like last night, for sure they weren't going to have a chance to get that. We'll come back and win those games.
Mm-hmm.
Where now you go, okay, if you hang around, they hang in there, this team has a chance.
Somebody gets hot.
Yeah,
like Goodwin did last night.
You can't turn them off if they're losing in the third quarter.
I agree with that. I would agree with that.
Which is great. I mean, a lot of people like myself think the NBA is just the final 2-3 minutes anyway.
It is. I agree with you, Roc.
I totally disagree.
Oh, come on,
I
Jimmy.
totally disagree.
All right, last 5 minutes when these guys want to start playing. You don't agree with that at all?
No. Well, look,
A little bit.
I get it that the last 5 minutes is generally the most entertaining part of the game.
It's the only time you need
But
to check in.
I mean, but if you,
Like, I wish I could buy Suns tickets just for the last 5 minutes.
If you want to watch the greatest players on the planet, and you're going to see some,
And
like
no one's defending him in the first half.
and 5 or 6 sensational plays.
Well, nobody on him.
So
It's like them
you're not
playing
going to win this
Mississippi or
argument,
Pig.
Roc. You're not going to win this.
When they were down by 18, you went, "Oh my gosh, this will be like they're in OKC."
To the Thunder.
They'll blow them out by
They're the
40.
number one team
I
in
know.
the NBA,
Exactly,
the
exactly.
OKC Thunder.
But for them to come back, and I was the same way for years. All right, I'm going to turn it on last 3 minutes, see where this is
Get
at.
everything you need there.
Get a couple threes. You know, Jimmy, it's fixed, so you just get a couple threes.
Oh, I forgot about
The
that. Yeah,
officials-
it is
Well,
fixed.
the
Yeah.
officials.
According
Yeah.
to Tim Donahue, he will tell you the truth, man.
All right, next, the legend Frank Sanders will join us. What went wrong? What actually matters? And what has to change if this franchise is serious about turning it around? Get his thoughts on Gannon being fired today. But here's Laz with a local ESPN Radio 620 sports update. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Radio, on FM at 98.7 HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The Arizona Cardinals have fired head coach Jonathan Gannon after 3 seasons. Gannon's tenure in Arizona comes to an end, with the Cardinals finishing the 2025 season at 3-14, including an 0-6 record in the NFC West. The team now begins a new head coaching search under general manager Monty Ossenfort. In college football, former Kentucky quarterback Cutter Boley has committed to Arizona State, as the Sun Devils have likely found their quarterback for 2026. They also added former Colorado wide receiver Omarion Miller, one of the portal's top receivers, giving the program a major boost heading into next season. College football playoff, NFL playoffs, every game that matters lives at Twin Peaks. Wall-to-wall TVs, ice-cold 29-degree drafts, and playoff energy all day long. Lock in your seat and make Twin Peaks your playoff headquarters. Frank Sanders, next.
Now open in North Scottsdale, it's the Orangedale Lounge. OD's, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
At Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf, we understand the tradition of golf, the joy of passing the game from one generation to the next. Since 1963, we've been helping families like yours enjoy the game of golf. Our expert team will help you find all the golf gear, shoes, and apparel you need. With over 60 years of experience and our legendary 90-day guarantee, we've always been here to help you get there. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Life's a sprint, and you need a quick pick-me-up. Meet G2G protein bars, the ultimate grab-and-go meal replacement. Whether you're hustling in the office, enjoying a day on the links, or conquering the daily grind, G2G is your perfect fuel. Score an 8-pack at your local Costco's refrigerated section or explore amazing flavors at G2GBar.com. Quick, delicious, and power-packed. G2G protein bars, setting the pace for your energetic lifestyle.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
He played 8 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. The Sandman.
It is caught. Touchdown Auburn. Sanders caught it. Touchdown Auburn. Frank Sanders from Nix. Auburn's ahead.
Frank Sanders joins Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. right here on ESPN 620.
Marvin was off to, got off to a little bit of a rocky start, just had some frustrations on his own part. And then Marvin started to turn it around. And so even when Marvin probably wasn't producing to what he thought, I mean, Marvin was a factor when he was on the field. And then, a freak injury and with his appendicitis knocks him out of a couple games, comes back and has a couple good games and then has a heel injury, and being a wide receiver that can't run, that's a pretty much a prerequisite for the job. And so frustration there.
That's the general manager, Monty Osiport, talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. Of course, I'm sure he couldn't wait for the calendar to switch to 2026 so he can reset like this organization and get going for this upcoming season in the fall. Frank Sanders now on the Right to It, I guess. Happy New Year to you, Frank. Good to have you on. We're looking forward to this.
Hey, brother, how you doing? Happy New Year to you guys, man. As always, it is a pleasure to get an opportunity to be amongst you guys and your dialogue.
Okay, well, so
boy, he really sure
he did, yeah.
Frank, did this feel inevitable to you, or could this have gone differently with better support around him? And of course, I'm talking about Jonathan Gannon.
Oh yeah, I definitely thought it could have went differently with if the team was intact. I thought it might have been something different. They had first 2 years were not exactly what he wanted. I think, any coach coming into a situation has to do the evaluation of what players do I have, how many players do I have to develop, and then what players we need to go out and get in free agency to make this thing become a team. And when you do that in this up and coming year, at the beginning of the season, you realize that this team was put together with a defensive-minded front. We went out and got extra guys on the front line. We brought some DBs in from that standpoint. And then when you look at the bigger picture, we also added to our offensive line. So you thought this team would have been something special. But as the season progresses, from preseason to the end of the season, injuries take its toll. Coaches are trying to coach. But at the end of the day, if you don't have all your players and you don't have the situations to go out and win, competing is one thing, winning is another thing.
Frank, Michael Bidwell had said even when you had your players, even when you were healthy, the 4, 5, 6 games that they lost in a row by 3, 4, 5 points, he said that was a determining factor. He gets the whole injury thing, like we all do. But when you got your guys on the field and you lose those 5, 6, 7 with guys healthy and lose the close game, that was a determining factor for him. And I'd also mention that as well, too. Well, if you've got the guys and you're not winning, that is strictly on the coaches, because coaches lose and players win, as you know. So I think that was his determining factor, that injuries aside, people, I get it. But whenever all the dudes were healthy on the field, we weren't winning those close games that everybody's been talking about.
No, you're absolutely right. Again, we're not going to sugarcoat it. The eye test was good at times and it was bad more than it was good. And I think that's the part where you just have to accept what it is and say, hey, look, the guys didn't improve. They didn't get better. We thought that there was scenarios that games that we could have won and maybe situational awareness or guys actually going out and making the plays that they needed to. It wasn't there, and the guys didn't do it. So, unfortunately, that's a part of the business. It's always happened at the end of the year, the season. Coaches get fired. Transition takes place. In our situation as a fan base, you can definitely look at yourself and say, you saw what you saw, and now you're hoping to see something better as the offseason progresses with a new regime potentially coming in for the Arizona Cardinals.
So, Frank, when you look at the Cardinals, who they have and who they are now, and you put everybody, let's say everybody is healthy, what kind of coach do you want to come in? What are some of the holes that need to be filled free agency-wise and in draft-wise that you could see you could be that consultant, Frank Sanders Consulting LLC, that you could recommend? Or if let's say Mike McCarthy calls Frank Sanders tomorrow, says, Frank, you got an hour? Let's go to lunch. Who are the Cardinals? What do they have? What they don't have? Because I got to make a decision here by Wednesday whether I want to be the head coach or not. And he'll take you to a nice lunch too. None of this Sonic or Mickey D's.
Yeah, he'll let you supersize it.
Yeah, man.
Hey, look, I don't know how many times you guys can rack your head around this situation, but it's crazy. Like, you got to look at it from just as a pure coach. You walk in and you say, well, who do I have that I can call my players that I know 100% is solid? Well, your quarterback situation is 50.
Bingo.
60-40, because you don't know if he can stay healthy. That's one. Not that he can't play. Can he stay healthy? Because the last 3 years or 4 or 5 years, he hasn't stayed healthy in his 8-year career here with the Arizona Cardinals. So you got to look at it from that perspective. Number two, your backup quarterback is solid, but is he your guy? And that's something that goes from leadership. So you're looking at where my leaders at and my playmakers at. And I think you can look at your outside and say my receiving core is young but talented. I got something there. My defensive, my offensive line, I got a young stud or 2 or 3 young studs that's there, but I need to beef that up. And then you start evaluating from that process. And yeah, I think there's some guys on this team. And again, this is with hopefully the coming back of Calais Campbell, because I think his leadership is invaluable for what he was able to do this year, even though the guys that would have been there wasn't there because of health purposes. But I think that you got to have your leaders there. And I think from that, you look at that and you say, okay, now I can move on from there. This fan base needs somebody they believe in as a coach. I think the last couple of years, the Cardinals, and we talk about Michael Bidwell making the changes. He did that. Well, we asked for a new coach 7 years ago, and we got Cliff Kingsbury. We got a new offensive coordinator. We got a new general manager, and that changed, and that happened. But the performance wasn't there. You're looking at a coach that came out with Cliff Kingsbury's record. It was 28, 37-1. And so that's the reason why he's not here not longer. And so then they made another transition. We got Monty, and then we got JG, and the offensive coordinator changes. But, I mean, this team has players. How many guys come back healthy? How many guys come back ready at the beginning of the season is always a determining factor. But the coach that comes here has to want to embrace the challenge and embrace the mindset that the Cardinals organizationally is going in the right direction toward their fan base, toward the stadium, toward trying to create an atmosphere and a mindset of winning. But you got to have the players that you can do that with. And how does that change? What do you need to do to make that change that happens? Is that a new coach? Is that a new quarterback? Possibly. What do you do in the draft? And do you go get another offensive lineman, or do you go get a splash player like a Cornell Tate from Ohio State, or do you go get a bad running back like Mr. Love? So you're trying to find that thing that causes a great balance, but not only that, the anticipation of a winning attitude and a winning mindset. I'm pretty sure you guys know, like I know, the value of the next coach that the Arizona Cardinals pick has to be somebody that can communicate and speak with authority, that has that passion and volume that they just have not seen primarily from the other coaches in the past.
Frank, here's my my point. They play in the NFC West. It is far and away the best division in the National Football League. Seattle, Rams, Niners, all in the playoffs, all with double-digit wins, and then you have the mediocre or rudderless ship, which is the Arizona Cardinals right now. Look, I know it's the NFL, and you can generally flip things in maybe a year, but to me, this looks like a 2, possibly a 3-year building project. Do you agree with that or disagree?
No, you know what? You're absolutely right in regards to the narrative of, when we look at the NFC West, this is a really strong division and can be considered the best division in the National Football League without a doubt. The coaches that are in the division they're savants, they're smart, they're intelligent. What they do organizationally, they go out and get the players that they need for the coaching staff, and what they do, absolutely right on that part, JB. But I will say that this is the beauty of it. Mike McDonald showed it. You can actually come out and change an organization with a good quarterback and get some dogs that are hungry, speak to them the right way, tell them what, paint the picture very well for them, and put some hungry ones in the middle of it, and let these guys go out and eat. It could happen. It could change. We've seen that in this era of new football with Mike Vrabel. He's 1 year in and 14-3. We can look at Ben Johnson over the Bears. He's 1 year in and look at them. They're 13-4, I believe, or 13-5, 13-4. But that's the beauty of it.
Liam Cohen in Jacksonville.
Yeah, Jacksonville. Yeah.
Right. So we can keep going. And so I think there's a part of that anticipation that believes that it could happen pretty fast.
Yeah, but Frank, what's the common denominator there? All three of those teams that you just mentioned, they all have a stud quarterback.
Yeah, and that's what you can't. The numbers of Kyler Murray and what he's been able to do in the NFL the first couple of years was there. We see talent, but the ability to keep him healthy is the most important part. And again, these are definitely none of those quarterbacks are Kyler Murray. None of them run like Kyler Murray. None of them have the skill set of Kyler Murray, agility, ability like Kyler Murray. However, but the offensive coordinator and the mindset of what they're able to do strategically versus defenses and offenses, these guys are winning out. You got gunslingers and Purdy and Stafford. And, look, surprise, Sam Darnold is somebody who we don't have to call him an interception machine. Nope. That's beautiful. That means they're doing some good job in coaching. So I'm pretty sure that's the essence of where we need to be at. When it comes to the Arizona Cardinals and moving forward this year, JB, we really got to go get some coaches that can coach and coach their butt off, and guys that are coming here and play that want to meet that challenge. Again, you're talking about three of the toughest teams in the NFL, and you got to face those guys twice a year, and you got to want that work. And so any coach that comes in has to and want to embrace that challenge of the mental chess games played between all three of those coaches when they come to the Arizona Cardinals.
He's Frank Sanders, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. All right, this fan base. What do you think Cardinal fans are feeling today? And I'm going to give you three choices: relief, frustration, or fatigue.
Relief, frustration, or fatigue.
This fan base.
Frustration, or fatigue.
And there's no D. Honestly, there's no D. You can't say all the above.
D, yeah.
And no all the above, Frank.
What do you think that just said?
No. It's relief, man. It's relief.
You are listening.
It's relief without a doubt. It's relief without a doubt. Just the essence of knowing that now there's hope. That because Jonathan Gannon coming back probably wouldn't have presented that hope to you because and have seen what the record has produced, and it has not been good. It's about 15-36, and so the reality of that is that there needs to be change. And Coach eloquently said it all day long. He said it every time he got to the podium the last 3 weeks. Adversity creates growth. Growth creates change. Well, sir, thank you. And now we're having change. And that's what it is. And so they should feel relief for multiple purposes, man. Like there's a hope on who we're going to go to get, what we're going to bring in, if we're going to keep Kyler Murray. Does Jacoby Brissett become our guy? Do we add to the offense, and what firepower we add to the offense? And I think now again, we're number 3 in the draft. We were number 5 a couple of weeks ago. We're number 3. And so there's potential of somebody that can come into your organization that can make a change and a splash. And I think there's a hope in that relief that they got. And I think that Mike's showing that I'm listening, and I think there's a part where everyone's saying, hey, man, Mike needs to take the team, but he's been trying to change the uniforms, change the logo, change the field, whatever he needs to change, he's doing it to try to get a win and to make this team become a win sensation in the National Football League.
Frank, we all tossed out a name that we think would be a good fit. I went with Matt Nagy. Manuch went with Michael McCarthy, and Jimmy B went with Kevin Stefanski. Any of those three work for you? You got
my God. Well,
Matt Nagy has, of course, been the offensive coordinator for Kansas City for the last few years. He was in Chicago for 4 years, been to playoffs twice, coach of the year while he was with a bad Bears team.
Yeah, but like I say, I mean, the name matters, but I mean, what they've done on other teams, that matters too. Well, depending on if you're saying a name with a guy who already had a really experienced quarterback.
Mm-hmm. True.
And I get that, but my mindset is, again, you got to have a talker and that will come in here and sell this organization and stand his ground on about what his expectations are. And I think, we look at BA, and BA came here, and BA was, from Indiana, from the Colts, and he did a wonderful job over there for a year or two, and then he came back. Then the Cardinals got him. But BA stood his ground. Mm-hmm. He had constantly promised what he promised to the fan base, and he said what he said, and he meant what he meant. And he was passionate about winning the wins and the losses. And I think that's what you need because the fan base needs to see that. They need to see someone extremely passionate about the wins and the losses. And I think the message sometimes once you start losing, you guys say we all become numb to it. And that's the truth. And so those names aren't bad names, but the mindset is, again, the mindset is that whoever you bring in, you need to bring in somebody with that kind of passion and roar.
Are you on the search committee?
No, you're an ambassador.
Would you want to be?
Yeah.
I mean, you and
sir.
Big Banks. I mean, you get all these ambassadors, and you guys all get together, bring in Jake. I mean, it's that time.
And you always say
Get Larry in there.
And you said hope springs eternal. It's been eternity for Cardinal fans, Frank. So when does that hope ever spring?
Right. That's the beauty of right now where the NFL is, right? There's a lot of money in NFL. There's a lot of ability to go out and get players and guys that want to find a good home that fits them. And you need those pieces, and those pieces starts with your quarterback. It starts with your defensive, your Mike linebacker. Unfortunately, Mike Wilson, one of the best voices. Mike Wilson Sr. is one of the best voices, as a Mike linebacker on the defense early this part of the season. So, but I think there's a beauty in that, right? There's hope that this team will get better. There's hope that you can find a coach out there, offense coordinator, defense coordinator will come in and take this team, whatever we have and whatever we're going to bring pieces-wise, can make a transition. Again, that's the beauty of the NFL, that any time, at any moment, it could change. And no one would have thought Jacksonville, Liam Cohen would have went and done what he did, even though he had pieces. And then those guys got it together. And I think there's a part where the Arizona Cardinals can do that, and that's what Mike is looking forward to. That's the challenge as an owner and Monty as a general manager. And then for us, the fan base, is to stay hopeful that this team will change and transition so they can compete in our division, but not only that, win the division and move on to some other bigger things.
Frank, thanks for improving the program today, buddy. Have a good week.
Appreciate you, brothers, man. Always, I love you.
Love you too. That's Frank Sanders joining us here on the Right to a Guest line. He's presented to you by All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company. They're hiring drivers, dispatchers, customer service pros, great pay, benefits, and a monthly fuel allowance. So if you're making a change for 2026, apply online at allcitytowing.com. That's All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward. All right, you'll hear more from Michael Bidwell from this afternoon in our Learner Row 1 call, and we'll get you ready for Suns and Rockets on Arizona Sports 98.7. So we'll get you tell you about that. This is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN Radio Phoenix, on FM at 98.7 HD-2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B as they broadcast live before the national championship from DraftKings Sportsbook at TPC Scottsdale on Monday, January 19th. Watch college football's biggest game in an electric atmosphere with massive wall-to-wall screens, great food and drinks, and a full sportsbook experience. Get there early, grab a seat, and soak in the energy. From VIP cabanas to the outdoor patio and fire pits, the road to a national title runs through Scottsdale. Monday, January 19th at DraftKings with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B from ESPN Radio 620. Must be 21 years or older to wager. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT. Another Arizona storm season's rolling through. Before the next big downpour hits, call State 48 Roofing for your free roof inspection. Whether it's cracked tiles, flat roofs, or old shingles, don't wait for leaks to show up. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Trusted for over a decade in both residential and commercial roofing. Protect your home, protect your business with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com or call 480-268-4509 today.
The biggest game of the year is coming, and at Backyard Desert Ridge, it always sells out. Lock in the best seat in the house now. Reserve your table today and pick the perfect spot, right in front of the massive LED wall or surrounded by more than 50 high-def TVs. Great food, ice-cold drinks, and wall-to-wall action so you don't miss a single play. Every year fills up fast, and once it's gone, it's gone. Don't wait. Swing by Backyard Desert Ridge and secure your big game seat today.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions. Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible? Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Eugenics Total T2. The testosterone booster? Yeah, but it's way more than that now. It also skyrockets your nitric oxide in as little as 3 hours. I started taking it right away and I'm already seeing results. I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week. Yep, after 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with T2, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text ROCK to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of new Nugenix Total T2. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's ROCK to 321-321. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Arizona children enter the foster system every day. If you're a parent, a coach, a teacher, or just someone who cares about young people, then you may be in a position to help. Becoming a foster parent not only creates a positive ripple effect in a child's life, it can improve our entire community. That's the foster effect. To learn more, go to azdcs.gov/foster effect. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Department of Child Safety.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Comes down to wins and losses, and there were several games in which we had a chance to win those games when injuries weren't as much of a factor, and we didn't win them. You guys witnessed those same games. I think again, the person that can impact the wins, and you look across again those teams that are in the playoffs with new coaches that have turned those franchises around fast and their fortunes on the field. We just felt like when you look at how much we had regressed this year, we felt like the best option for us was to go in a different direction with the head coach.
That's right. Jonathan Gannon out. That's Michael Bidwell on the decision that came down to fire him. And we will now have a fun offseason. Find out who the next head coach will be for the Arizona Cardinals, as well as the quarterback situation with Kyler Murray. Will he be back? Will there be a coach that's going to be in that interview and say, hey, I can make it work with Kyler?
It's interesting how Monty Ossenford asked that question about Kyler Murray. He was very non-committal. Matter of fact,
smart.
He broke down the Michael Jackson moonwalk over that question versus, well, he's our guy, but he was like, well, you got hurt, and that situation was, he went way out of his way to be so non-committal about Kyler Murray and his situation and what happened. So I thought that was...
Do you blame him?
No, I don't. Matter of fact, I think he basically said, without saying it, that Kyler Murray, I feel, what I heard to say is that Kyler Murray's going to be gone. He's not going to be part of this. He is not going to be our franchise quarterback next year.
I think also he wants to take the stand to increase his value that they may keep him for trade bait, and how they're going to trade him, right? Someone's going to have to really step up.
Yeah, but who's going to bite on him? That's the thing.
Connor's got the cut. Let's hear it from him instead of Manuch.
I don't know that that's changed. I think like I said, Cam, I think what we have to do is we have to look long and hard at this season and what happened. And when you have a season like this, I think all options are on the table. And so things didn't work out. Kyler was injured this year. Jacoby stepped in and played well. And we'll see what that leads to. We'll see what that leads into the offseason as we construct the 2026 team. But those discussions are for another day, not the day after the season has ended.
Yeah, there it is. Just, we'll see.
Yeah.
Versus, he's our guy. We're committed to Kyler Murray. We need to build around him. Whoever the new head coach is, we'll let him know that he's our guy. Not at all. And fairly so that if I really believe this whole foot injury thing, in my opinion, it was a total farce. When you tell everybody that you may have some packages for a guy that week, and then like 2 weeks later said, we're going to shut him down. He's not responding. Well, if he wasn't responding, why would you put it out there that you had some packages out there? And I got to tell you what, there were some things that happened this year that led me to believe Michael Bidwell was not happy with Jonathan Gannon.
I'm with you on that.
Number one, I thought
he got the fine on the sideline. That didn't go over well.
He totally emasculated Jonathan Gannon's authority with that team when he fined him there.
Yep.
He should have every right to dress down DeMarcado, and then you want to fine him? And I think that situation there where, we got some packages for him, and then he moonwalks 2 weeks later.
I bet he was told, though, Manuch. I bet he was told, yeah.
I'm saying that the orders, he wasn't following the orders if there were some given.
Right.
But it was very obvious. I'm calling shenanigans on the whole Kyler Murray injury IR thing. Totally.
No, I hope someday, hopefully Jonathan Gannon gets to, he's going to be a defensive coordinator somewhere, and he's going to be having a cocktail with a buddy, and then we'll find out the real truth. What went on this year?
When he writes the book, when he's
he doesn't even need to write the book. He just needs to have a beer and talk about it, because I think a lot of us would love to know what really went down, to your point.
Sure.
And was he hurt? Not really hurt? I mean, there's more to that too. I'm anxious to see who could make it work. And I bet somebody out there, every coach, especially these offensive-minded coaches, think they can coach anybody.
Well, and the thing is the other thing is his longevity during the season. Kyler Murray's always getting injured or dinged. So if you're going to put that much money in a trade or draft choices, and you're going to pay the kid $45 million to come to the Jets or the Raiders or whoever you trade him to, Dolphins, okay, we know he's pretty solid, but can he last?
Mm-hmm.
And those are some of the things you look at. I mean, I look at the other night when Seattle was all over Brock Purdy. I mean, I'm surprised he's walking today.
Yeah.
Brock's 6 foot, about 215.
Right.
Kyler's 5'10", about $175. I mean, can he last the season? A lot of teams will be looking.
All
at
right,
that.
let me remind you that they did go 11-5 and went to the playoffs. I mean, they got smoked by the Rams.
Yes.
But they did have a season where they went 11-5 with Kyler at quarterback.
Yeah, one season out of 8 years.
I'm just saying that they did have one.
Hey, the Suns are at the Rockets, and it'll be on the mothership. Arizona Sports 98.7 coming up. Pregame, I believe, 5:30 with the tip-off at 6. And the game is also on Arizona Family. So that's coming up here in just about 2 hours or so. So Suns a back-to-back after upsetting OKC. I'm interested to see which Suns team shows up tonight. So definitely something we're going to want to watch. But the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, I knew you were right.
I mean, just the last 5 minutes.
Last 3 minutes.
I'm going to be dialed into this game.
Hey, thanks to Connor and Laz for making it happen behind the glass here at the studios of ESPN Radio Phoenix. Of course, you miss anything, make sure you download the Arizona Sports app or go to rocandmanuch.com. So we'll see you back here 1 o'clock right here on ESPN Radio Phoenix.
There is nothing quite like the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. For locals, it's been a point of pride for 50-plus years. For players, it's where legends emerge. For fans, it's the trip of a lifetime. But this year is even bigger. It's the college football playoff semifinal on January 8th. It's Miami versus Ole Miss. Viva Fiesta! Get tickets at fiestabowl.org.
Happy New Year, Susan. I really appreciate you picking up the bill for lunch.
I'm happy to. One of my New Year's resolutions is being better with money. So I've started using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for buying gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I earn cash back just for buying the gas I was already buying.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make $200 to $300 this year.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play and start earning cash back on everyday gas purchases. Use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents per gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code RIDER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code RIDER. Code RIDER. Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Arizona businesses need more skilled workers, and our students are the solution. At the Pima Joint Technical Education District, we build the talent Arizona businesses rely on. With cutting-edge programs in health and technology and hands-on career training, our 30,000 students will graduate ready for high-demand careers. JTED builds the future of Arizona's workforce. Learn how our students will bring excellence to your business at pimajted.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900. Call 977-1900. 977-1900.
At Crest Insurance, we believe great insurance starts with great relationships. For years, we've been protecting businesses, families, and futures with the care and expertise you deserve. Our team knows what it takes to provide personalized solutions for your needs. We're here to make insurance simple, reliable, and stress-free. Visit crestins.com to see how we can protect what matters most to you.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A couple more coaching changes made on this day after the end of the 2025 NFL regular season. Raiders fired Pete Carroll after 1 year. Jonathan Gannon out following 3 seasons with the Cardinals. And Kevin Stefanski, after 6 seasons, dismissed by the Browns. Add those to the Giants, Titans, and Falcons vacancies. Might the Ravens be the 7th team with a head coach opening? ESPN NFL insider Dan Graziano.
At this point, we don't have reason to believe the Ravens are considering moving on from John Harbaugh or that he's considering moving on from them. But they've come to the end of an extremely disappointing season. There's been enough noise and chatter around this and around the uncertainty with Lamar Jackson and his future contract situation that we're watching it. I think still the likelihood is that John Harbaugh is back next year.
Mike McDaniel told reporters today he'll remain the head coach of the Dolphins and will be part of the team's interview process for its next GM. Also confirmed there'll be a quarterback competition in 2026. Meanwhile, Dolphins QB Tua Tagovailoa benched the last 3 games, said he is open to a fresh start. His salary cap hit for 2026, $56 million.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, making it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit progressive.com.
From Studio 2 at the worldwide headquarters of ESPN and the HD studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is Freddie and Harry.
Yeah, at some point, Gabe, I'm going to run out of masks because, is this going to stop? All we need our field goal kicker to do is make it an extra point. Drake London had a phenomenal outing. 3 touchdown catches, the whole 9. Shout out to Drake London. Only for our field goal kicker to miss an extra point and we lose the ball game 24-23. You can't make this up. I don't want to show my face. That's why I got the Hulk mask on. But at some point, this starts to wear on me. My mental. I need to check on my mentals. I need to go see my therapist because this is getting out of hand now. 3 straight losses.
This is Freddie and Harry.
Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio, ESPN app, Sirius XM Channel 80. Freddie and Harry presented by Progressive Insurance. I'm Gabe Neitzel in for Freddie Coleman along with Harry Douglas. 3 losses in a row, that one by a point. Is that still hanging with you a little bit after tying for the division now at 8-9? Is that still hanging with you a little bit?
Oh, well, there's a lot still hanging with me because all I can think about right now, if we would have found a way to win one game, maybe one of the 2 losses that we had to the Carolina Panthers, maybe if we wouldn't have lost to the Miami Dolphins, or maybe if we wouldn't have lost to the not-so-good New York Jets, maybe if we would have won in overtime versus the Indianapolis Colts. Damn, we just needed one more win. And the Atlanta Falcons would be in the playoffs right now, hosting a football team that we just whooped on Monday Night Football.
As someone whose team finished in last place this year, I think it would be more frustrating to finish the season with the same record as the division winner and still not make the playoffs. I think that's more frustrating than to go outright stinking it up like my New York Giants did.
Maybe I'm just a bad person, but I just enjoy the fact that the NFC South came down to a game between 2 teams that couldn't win the NFC South yesterday. It just seemed like the most NFC South thing ever.
That's insane. Now, the one thing I am happy about is that we finished the season on a 4-game win streak. Beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, beating the Los Angeles Rams, and then also beating our rival in the New Orleans Saints. So it was good to be able to see that. The Arizona Cardinals was in that mix as well, but I don't view them as a team that's anywhere near good. They just fired their coach as well. But, being able to finish the season strong, and then how our rookies played, when you look at James Pierce Jr., Xavier Watts, I said it when the Falcons drafted him that he was going to be the steal of the draft, and he played exceptional this season. James Pierce Jr., double-digit sacks as a rookie. Just a great job. But here's what frustrates me. We have so many players that are dynamic players, in my opinion, in Atlanta, that's on rookie contracts. And not being able to make the playoffs in a very weak division is really bothering me, because I thought we could ill afford to waste these years on rookie contracts that we have these players on.
Yeah, and ultimately probably led to part of the reason why Raheem Morris is no longer the head coach in Atlanta. To help us break that down, we welcome in home team Brandon Lee.